The smartest sports YouTuber back with another video. And in this video, we got to talk about the reigning AFC champs, it should be Super Bowl champs, Cincinnati Bengals, about to knock another draft class out of the park. Two great draft classes in a row, which has led to a Super Bowl run. They just need to continue to build on this, and I think they will. I think first round, you have prospects like Booth, Elam at corner, which corner obviously is a position of need. You have interior linemen like Devontae Wyatt, George Carl, the Purdue pass rusher, Tyler Linderbaum, the center. Now, me personally, I would draft Tyler Linderbaum. I think Tyler Linderbaum is a no doubt. He has no bust potential at all. The only way he could be a bust if injury, but yeah, he's a stud. He's going to be a stud in this league. He would immediately come in and be the third or second best O lineman on this team. He'd be better than Ted Karras. He'd be better than Alex Kappa. And if you look at his athleticism compared to a Creed Humphrey, who's a stud center, who was an athletic freak coming out of the draft, his athleticism, his cone drills, shuttle drills, they're all better than Creed Humphrey's. The only thing he doesn't have on Creed Humphrey is size. That's really his only negative, but yeah, Tyler Linderbaum, he's going to be a stud. If I was the Bengals, if he was there at 31, there's no doubt I would take Tyler Linderbaum, but I don't think they will. I think they're going to go more with defense. I think they already said multiple times that Ted Karras is the center, and they signed him to be the center. Me personally, obviously, I would move him to left guard, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to go defense, and I don't really have a huge issue with that. Now, if Tyler Linderbaum's there and you do draft the defensive player and he doesn't work out, I'm going to be looking like, see, you should have drafted Tyler Linderbaum, but I'm not going to be mad at it. Just obviously depending who they take. Now, if George Carl falls from Purdue, then yeah, I mean, I think that'd be a great pick. Obviously, you have Elam if he falls. That'd be another great pick. Booth, I've been hearing a lot about. Not really sure. Obviously, cornerbacks are kind of tricky with their transition to the NFL. It's more of an unknown. I think a center, if you look at the center position, I think you get a better grasp of what they're going to be in the pros. Usually the top end centers work out in the pros. Now I know some Bengals fans will say, "Well, what about Billy Price? We don't want to draft another Billy Price." Don't ever make that comparison. Tyler Linderbaum is way better than Billy Price. If Billy Price didn't get injured pre-draft and he was able to work out and show teams what he could do, Billy Price would have fell in that draft. The Bengals would have never taken him. He was a reach to begin with. If Tyler Linderbaum's there, that would be a steal, not a reach. So don't compare Billy Price, who's not athletic at all, who's absolute garbage, to Tyler Linderbaum. Tyler Linderbaum's a stud. Tyler Linderbaum will work out in the NFL, no doubt. So don't make that comparison. But obviously, I do think they're going to go defense. Like I said, they could even trade back the pick. We've seen them do that with the Jackson Carman pick. They traded back because I guess they obviously knew that Jackson Carman would still be there. And I think that Jackson Carman pick was a reach. I think, obviously, I love the Jamar Chase pick. I'm talking about, by the way, I'm talking about at the time they drafted him. I'm not talking about revisionist history. So at the time, I wanted Jamar Chase. I thought the Jackson Carman pick was a reach. I really liked the Joseph Osai pick. And obviously, I love Big Dick McPherson pick because I told you kickers are important, and you found that out this year. So I just hope they don't reach on anyone. I hope they don't trade back and just reach on another player like a Jackson Carman or Drew Sample, another second round pick that was a bust. So that's what they got to be worried about. Last year, the Bengals had the 17th scoring defense. In the playoffs, they obviously stepped up their game. And I like the idea of drafting defense with high picks. That my only thing was if Tyler Linderbaum's there, then I think you should draft Tyler Linderbaum, move Karras to left guard, Kappa right guard, Collins right tackle, Jonah left tackle. You have your 5 O lineman set. Like I said, I don't think they'll do that, even if he's there. But I don't like I like the idea of drafting defense because during the regular season you had the 17th ranked defense. Obviously in the playoffs they stepped up. They played more like a top 10 defense. And I've always said, when you have a Joe Burrow, you're going to score points. So a Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. So if you can, the goal should be to surround Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and this offense with a top 10 defense. If you have a top 10 defense or a fringe top 10 defense every year, you're going to make the playoffs really every year. You're going to be in the mix, and anything can happen, like we've seen it with that playoff run. So, just to be competitive, if you can surround Joe Burrow with a top 10-ish defense, you're always going to have a chance at a Super Bowl. I mean, we saw last year, 17th ranked defense, and they made the Super Bowl. So, with a garbage O-line, much improved O-line, obviously. So, yeah, surround Joe Burrow with the top 10 defense, and you're going to be a Super Bowl contender every year, no doubt about it. The Bengals cornerback position is a position of need because your second best cornerback was Eli Apple, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Eli Apple is trash. Eli Apple actually, I saw a headline. It was like Bengals gonna draft a corner after Eli Apple struggles in the Super Bowl. I don't know what the fuck they were talking about. Yes, Eli Apple did allow 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl, but he only allowed like 14 yards, and he was actually really good in the Super Bowl. So he played better than Jalen Ramsey in the Super Bowl, so let's just keep that. But Eli Apple should be your third or fourth best corner. So obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if they do go cornerback in the first round. The pass rush for the Bengals was not that good last year. Trey Hendrickson was a monster, obviously, but other than that, they were ranked in the high, low 20s in pass rush win rate. And if you saw the Super Bowl, the first play of the game, Trey Hendrickson got a sack. Later in the game, I believe DJ Reader got a sack, but they only sacked Matthew Stafford twice, and worse, they didn't get any pressure at all. Matthew Stafford had their offensive line had like a 90% pass block win rate, which is insane. They really got no pressure at all. So the pass rush was not a strong suit last year, and the Bengals usually only send 4 people on a pass rush. So obviously with Joseph Asai coming back, that's going to help. So obviously that's why first round, wouldn't be surprised if they take a D lineman. A good thing for the Bengals is the positions in need are usually positions that fall in the draft late in the first rounds, like center. Usually centers don't go that high in the first round. Cornerbacks usually the high end cornerbacks fall to the later end of the first round. Interior D linemen, same thing. So the position of needs for the Bengals are ones that you find later in the first round. Obviously, because the positions that get drafted high in the first round, the Bengals have addressed that high in the first round. Joe Burrow, first overall pick. Jamar Chase, 5th pick. T. Higgins, 33rd pick. Tyler Boyd was a second round pick. So the Bengals are in a good position. It's just important that they don't draft bust. They just got to keep drafting good players. And they're in a good position because they can draft best player available, which they should do. So I hope they don't reach on like the third or fourth best cornerback in the draft. I hope they go with the best player. Keep building this roster. This is a good team. I thought it was a good roster who made a great playoff run, obviously, and you just got to keep building onto it. You obviously have your star players on rookie contracts, so this is the time to take advantage of that. Now the Bengals, they did spend about $100 million this year on the offense. So in the past, they would spend all their money in free agency on defense, then draft their offensive players high in the first, second round. So this year wouldn't surprise me. They spent their money on offense. They're like, all right, we're gonna spend our first 2 picks on defense, and I wouldn't be mad at that. Like I said, and that's a smart way to go about it. Later in the draft, I think they need to draft a receiver with like a 4th, 5th round pick. They obviously need a tight end, so it wouldn't surprise me if 3rd, 4th, 5th round they draft a tight end, receiver, offensive players, or the second round you could get a high end tight end in the second round. So that wouldn't surprise me. I do think they need a receiver later on in this draft because you do have obviously Chase, Higgins, and Boyd, but after that the drop off is significant. And you got to be realistic. I mean, 3 receivers staying healthy usually doesn't happen that often. So you got to account for at least one of them getting injured. And the Bengals run some of the most 3 wide receiver sets in the league. So it is important for the Bengals to have 3 receivers that are capable of doing anything at all times. So 4th or 5th round, I wouldn't be surprised. And I think it would be a good pick to get a wide receiver. Preferably a speedy wide receiver because obviously Higgins is slow. Tyler Boyd's slow. They're more possession receivers. Jamar Chase obviously is a just stud athlete. So I think with your 4th receiver, if he can be some sort of a speed demon, That would be nice, but like I said, just draft a receiver 4th or 5th round. Obviously, a tight end. I wouldn't be surprised if they go tight end in the 2nd or 3rd round. First round, like I said, they're probably going to go corner, D line, fix this, just help revamp this defense. And yeah, the Bengals are in a good spot. The Bengals already have a good team, and they just got to keep building on it, drafting the best players available. And yeah, simple as that. They're going to go back to back. This is a fact. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, keep the channel growing, and you just listen to the smartest sports YouTuber on the planet. That's a fact. And I'm out.